Hi everyone, and welcome to the tutorial for lead gen landing pages. So this tool is located down this left-hand side of your dashboard. You click into lead generation, and then you click build landing page. And another tab is going to open up. Now, when you are first looking at this landing page tool that pops up, if you click this top left-hand side, you're going to see main options, and these are all live templates of which you can choose from to use. When you choose any of these, the Save button is going to be up here on the top right, and that's a visual reminder to you that, hey, this is a template I can actually affect change to and save for advertising purposes. Now, as we look at this middle section where it says KV inspired example only, as well as the top 10 converting example only, these are all examples of what you could do. So you can see here when we're looking at the seller leads, if I click on seller leads with an example only, it shows you what you could create, and it has reference only here at the top right. That means you can look at this and get inspired by it perhaps, but it's not something you can actually change and use for yourself. The same goes for this bottom section where it says top 10 converting. These are all landing pages of which fellow users have created. So you can kind of see what they did and how you might want to showcase something. So this is to serve as to give you inspiration and ideas. And you can see as well on the upper right, this has reference only as well. Now, what we're going to speak to right now is the lead gen landing page. It's this first option on the top left drop down. And when you utilize this page, and this is actually the one that's utilized the most often, it's actually going to bring a lead directly onto your website, from your website to your dashboard in seconds. It usually takes about 10 seconds, give or take. Now, the main point here is you're saying, hey, lead, if you give me your email address and or cell and click this orange button, I am going to give you this information. So you're basically saying, hey, if you give me your details, I'm going to give you this detail. So they have to opt in to get this info. And the cool thing here is the moment they click this orange button, they're going to come onto your dashboard as a lead immediately. Now, you can also build in tracking with a hashtag up here. So if you drop a hashtag into this field, it's going to build in that subcategory where you can actually track people, recognize how they got in, have them in those subcategorized groupings for targeted contact. The URL after login up here is saying, well, you know what? Where do we want to send people when they click the button? So the button triggers the launch to a specific URL. And the neat thing here is if you're sending them to a URL of which is attached to your domain as an agent or a brokerage or an office, it's going to pre-sign them up on your website. So they're not going to be asked to log in. It's just going to happen smoothly and seamlessly. So you're going to have them immediately come in as a lead. You can hashtag them for tracking. You can send them to your own URL for more information. Maybe you have a blog post or listing of which you're going to send them to, squeeze page results. Maybe it's a valuation call to action, what have you. But it's going to do all of this for you in about 10 seconds, which is pretty slick. Now let's speak to how you create one of these. Now, when you're creating one, I heavily suggest that you go slowly, methodically, thoughtfully, because there is a specific order in which things need to be added here. So the first thing you're going to do is affect change on your submit button text. So prior to recording this, I opened up my dashboard and I created a squeeze link for newly listed or new construction properties actually in a town called Warwick. So I created a squeeze page link. So I am going to do a new construction tag for Warwick. So on my submit button text, I might want to say something like, show me the new construction or new builds or whatever you want to put in here. But basically when you type into this field and click outside of it, it cements the text on top of the orange button. Now, the URL after login is where we're going to place the link of which we want to direct people when they click the orange button. So they're all connected. The orange button connects to the URL, which then sends them elsewhere for more information. Now I can copy my squeeze page and paste it into the URL after login. And again, to cement that link into this field, I'm going to click outside the box, and that cements this link to that button. So now when we save this and a lead clicks the button, it's going to send them to that URL, to my website. Next, we are going to say, do we want to require the phone or not? You can either check it or uncheck it, depending. And we're going to choose background, and then we're going to go to hashtag. So background's kind of neat. We've got many different options of which you can choose that we have provided. There is an exterior photo. There is a living room. And there is super, super thoughtful lady. However, you can also customize these backgrounds by putting in, maybe you're doing a landing page for a single property. You can actually drop an MLS number in here, and we're going to grab the primary image of the listing and drop it into the background for you. Or you can click custom background and actually find the JPEG for an image online. Make sure it's an image that you own or an image of which you have the rights to use. And you can paste that URL in here and we will drop that image in the background. So if I go back to my dashboard, and let's say I just want to use a photo of a listing of ours in the background. So I can go to our listings, or I could go to Google Image and find an image of which I want to use and make sure it's one I have permission to use or own myself. But if I wanted to use one of these pictures, I can actually open the image on a new tab. And you can see how the URL ends in the JPEG up here. So I can actually copy this link and go to background, custom background, and paste it in. And then when I click OK, the system's going to pop that photo into the background. So now that we have the button text, link, background, and phone done, we can loop over here to hashtag. So we can build the hashtags in, which is super, super important because you want these people subcategorized when they land on your dashboard so you can sort them easily or send them information very easily. So I could drop in a hashtag like Warwick New Construction. So when I look at it, I'm going to recognize exactly what this tag was about so I know exactly what this group is bringing in so I know how to address them. And again, to cement the tag onto this whole page, we're going to click outside the box. So now give the top a once over, make sure you've got everything how you want to set up, and now we can move into the middle here. Now you can remove this logo just by double clicking it. However, if you double click it and you get rid of it and then you're like, ooh, you know what, I need to have it back. If you want your logo back, you need to actually start over. Now from here, anywhere you see text, you can edit it. So you could say, Warwick, new build construction, real estate deals, or whatever you wanted to put here. And then you could go to your second line, a free weekly list of hot buys in and around. So I would change this, of course, to the town or area of which I'm addressing. And myself as a user, I always set people up on dailies unless it was like a special unique situation. But by default, I always set people up on daily alerts. And then you can start moving into these bullets. Now, these bullets really don't take anybody anywhere. They are just there to give you the ability to further add information. So you just type in and change it up if you want to. The same goes with the secondary line. No, sorry about that. So if you want to get rid of a bullet, you double click that bullet. However, like the logo, it's not going to come back unless you start over. So delete your logo, delete a bullet with discretion. Give it some thought before you do it. Now, once you have everything in place across the top and in the middle, you pop up to the right top and you click save. And the system's basically saying, hey, once you save this, you cannot edit this. And when you click OK, the system is going to take the current link of which we're currently editing. It's a huge, 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 long, long, long link. And it's going to turn it into a usable advertising link. So it's really, really important you click save and then OK once you've given it the once over. And now this link up here is our landing page for this particular post. Now I can highlight and copy this link and use it. I can also utilize this little share button here and post into Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, or Pinterest directly off of the landing page generator. Now, if you need any help anytime, it's important that you chat with support at the bottom right-hand side of your dashboard or email us anytime, support@insiderealestate.com. Have a great day.